Hotep, Shalom, Namaste. I got some more information for you, brothers and sisters. I want to show you what I found.
I'd like to introduce you to this gentleman. This is Professor Sylvester James Gates, Jr. He is a theoretical physicist who received his Bachelor's of Science, Mathematics and Physics, and his PhD degrees from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, but later in 1977. His doctoral thesis was the first thesis at MIT to deal with supersymmetry. He is currently the John S. Toll Professor of Physics at the University of Maryland, College Park, and serves on President Barack Obama's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Here's a little clip that you should pay special attention to. And also not only to what he's saying, but take a look at the images in the background, because they're going to come up again. Something very similar, something very strikingly similar to something that spiritual masters were seeing and trying to carve into clay tablets and into stone and to draw on the ground, because they didn't have the technology we have. And they're known as yantras and mandalas and all of these things that they seen in their mind. So take a look at this.
Are you saying your attempt to understand the fundamental operations of nature leads you to a set of equations that are indistinguishable from the equations that drive search engines and browsers on our computers?
That is correct.
So you're saying as you dig deeper, you find computer code writ in the fabric of the cosmos?
Into the equations that we want to use to describe the cosmos, yes.
Computer code.
Computer code, strings of bits of ones and zeros.
It's not just sort of resembles computer code. You're saying it is computer code.
It's not even just is computer code. It's a special kind of computer code that was invented by a scientist named Claude Shannon in the 1940s. I have, in my life, come to a very strange place because I never expected that the movie The Matrix might be an accurate representation of the place in which I live.
So this brings us back to the same question when we stare off into the sky. Keep in mind, everyone doesn't do this, at least not like some of us do. We see and we feel something different, something that says something isn't right. We go back thousands of years again to the shamans, the Vedics, the mystics, the seekers of higher truth who separated themselves from everybody else in the world, from everything in the world, because they knew that something was just distracting them, as if it was trying to hold them in a certain state of mind, saying, this is reality. And by separating themselves from everything and everyone up in their caves out in the jungle, they dug deep within their mind, whether it was psychedelics or drugs, which showed them some weird techno energy fields, or structural energy, or just deep, deep meditations within their mind. They began to push deeper and deeper. For you see, when you have nothing else around you, you tend to go within. And within is what? It's micro. It's like looking deeper and deeper within your consciousness, like a super powerful microscope. And you go through these thresholds as you go deeper and deeper within your mind, as long as there's nothing outside bothering you, nothing to distract you, to snap you into what we think is reality. You go deeper and deeper, and you battle your own mind, and you move past everything that you think that you see, and finally, when you get down deep enough to the most micro levels, exactly what Mr. Sylvester James Gates was talking about, you find these unusual patterns that we're finding now in science, in quantum physics, and supersymmetry science. In other words, we are finding the same thing they found thousands of years ago out in the jungles and in the caves. A center of the mind, a center of the universe, something that said, here is the greater truth of reality. This is what everything is made of. It's all following patterns. It's all following a program. And if you can understand this program, if you can conceive it, if you can comprehend it, as you push deeper and deeper and deeper down to the depths of the finest structures, if your mind can comprehend what you see, which we would understand in today, our knowledge of science, our civilization is beginning to comprehend. It's code, computer code. That's what's there. That's what these Vedic masters were finding within their deepest, deepest mind. When they separated everything that they were, everything that they believed, everything that they thought, just removed everything that kept clawing and pulling and pushing on them to keep them in some kind of static state of mind, just moving along. They went so deep within their mind, they discovered the ultimate level of reality. And in so, the ability to change reality. If they found the code, the very structure that was written, and they were part of that code, and they could self-realize, self-become aware. This is what consciousness is. This is what self-realization is. This is awakening. When you hear the word awakening, what does that really fucking mean? It means that you begin to see reality in a different way. You no longer see what everybody else sees. You see something different. You see more. And that is realization. That is awakening from a sleep. That is...
And I have that code.